I used to think feeling tired all the time was just part of getting old. That's what Margaret told me. She's 67, retired, lives alone, and used to be the kind of woman who danced in her kitchen, laughed loudly at bad jokes, and went for long walks just to smell the morning air. But then something shifted. She started waking up tired. Even after 8 hours of sleep, her body felt like it was made of bricks. She couldn't get through the morning without needing to sit down. Making lunch felt like running a marathon. The laughter faded. So did her energy, her spark. She went to the doctor. All the tests came back normal. It's probably just aging, they said. But deep inside, Margaret didn't buy that. Because being tired wasn't who she used to be. And she's not alone. If you're over 60 and feel constantly tired, there's something you need to know. It's not just age, and it's not in your head. It's something that starts on your plate. Every single day. The slow drain you don't SEA. Let me ask you something. What did you eat for breakfast today? If you're like most people, it might have been toast, a little jam, maybe a banana, and of course, coffee. Sounds normal, right? But here's the truth. That breakfast could be draining your energy without you realizing it. See, most of us were never taught how aging changes digestion. We still eat like we're 35, but inside, our bodies are no longer running on the same fuel in the same way. Your stomach makes less acid. Your intestines don't absorb nutrients as well. Your cells don't process sugar the same. And without the right kinds of foods, especially the right combinations, your energy levels start dropping like a leaky faucet. And the worst part, you won't feel the change in one dramatic crash. You'll feel it slowly, day by day. Until one morning, like Margaret, you wake up and wonder where your energy went. Aging isn't to blame food. Ice lets clear something up. Aging is natural. Slowing down a little? Sure. But dragging yourself through the day with no motivation. Yawning at 10 a.m., skipping your evening walk because you're too tired? That's not normal aging. It's your body begging for different nutrition. It's like trying to run a modern smartphone with batteries from 1995. It's not that the phone is broken. It just needs the right kind of charge. And the truth is, most people over 60 are unknowingly eating in a way that blocks their energy production. Common energy mistakes people over 60 may. Margaret's story is powerful. It's sadly common. She was eating toast or cereal for breakfast, a sandwich for lunch, pasta or rice for dinner, and a little fruit or yogurt as a snack on the surface. It doesn't sound bad. It's low fat, low sugar, familiar. But there were key things missing. Not enough protein to rebuild muscle and keep blood sugar stable, too few healthy fats that feed the brain and fight fatigue, and very little fiber or color-rich foods that nourish the gut instead. Her meals were carb-heavy and quick-burning, so her energy spiked in, then crashed. Over and over again. And guess what? Over time, that roller coaster leads to midday exhaustion, brain fog, mood dips, and even more sugar cravings, which just make the cycle worse. It's not your willpower failing. It's biology. It can be fixed. The moment everything changed one afternoon, after another nap she didn't want to take, Margaret opened her fridge. It was half empty. A bottle of orange juice, some yogurt, a few slices of bread. She sat down and cried, not because of hunger, but because she was tired of being tired. Tired of missing out on walks with her grandson. Tired of turning down invitations. Tired of wondering if this was what the rest of life would feel like. That night, she called her niece, who happened to be a nutritionist. What followed was a complete shift, not just in food, but in hope. The question that starts at what if your energy didn't have to fade? What if the reason you're tired isn't because you're older, but because no one ever told you how to eat? For the way your body has changed? What if one simple change at breakfast, it's one new habit at lunch, one shift in your grocery basket, could begin to restore your spark? Because that's exactly what happened to Margaret. And in part 2, I'll show you the exact foods she began eating, why they work, and how they helped her feel like herself again. So stay with me. Because tired doesn't have to be your new normal. Food can be the beginning of your comeback. Margaret didn't go on some extreme diet. She didn't buy expensive supplements or follow a trendy detox. She simply started eating in a way that supported her aging body instead of accidentally fighting it. And it began with one conversation. Her niece Rachel asked her one powerful question. If your body is tired, what if it's not lazy? What if it's undernourished? That question flipped a switch in Margaret's heart. She had spent years blaming herself for her fatigue. She thought it was her fault being lazy, not exercising, maybe even being old. But the truth, her body was quietly starving for the right kind of fuel. Day 1. A better breakfast. Not a bigger one, the very next morning. Rachel gave Margaret her first energy repair breakfast. Instead of toast and jam with orange juice, she had 2 scrambled eggs cooked in olive oil, a handful of sautéed spinach, half an avocado, and a cup of green tea. Margaret was skeptical. It wasn't her usual light breakfast. But by 11 a.m., something strange happened. Didn't feel tired, she didn't need a nap. And her mind felt clearer than it had in weeks. Why? Because this new breakfast did 3 things. Protein from eggs helped stabilize her blood sugar and rebuild tired muscles. Healthy fat from avocado and olive oil fed her brain and reduced inflammation. Spinach gave her a shot of iron and magnesium key. Minerals that fight fatigue. Rachel called it eating to refuel, not just to fill. And it changed everything. Day 2 to 3, rebuilding with color and crunch over the next few days. Margaret focused on 2 simple goals. Add color to every plate, eat something crunchy and alive at every meal. Lunch became a salmon salad with arugula. Cherry tomatoes, walnuts, olive oil, and lemon, a small bowl of berries on the side dinner. Looked like grilled chicken or lentil stew, steamed broccoli with garlic. Quinoa or roasted sweet potato snacks weren't cookies or crackers anymore. They were carrot sticks. And hummus? Greek yogurt with cinnamon? A boiled egg or a handful of almonds? It wasn't a diet, it was a renewal. Her fridge no longer felt empty. It felt alive, and Margaret began to feel that way too. DAY 425, hydration and the hidden cause of exhaustion, one of the biggest silent causes of fatigue in people over 60. Dehydration. As we age, our sense of thirst fades. Our kidneys lose efficiency. By the time you feel thirsty, you're already behind. Margaret added to new habits. Drinking a glass of water first thing in the morning, sipping on herbal tea or water with lemon throughout the day within 48 hours. Her headaches disappeared. Her bathroom habits improved. Most importantly, her energy was steadier. Water wasn't just hydration, it was medicine her body had been missing. Day 6. Goodbye sugar crashes. Low stable energy before this change. Margaret craved sugar every afternoon. She thought it was emotional eating, but it wasn't. Her old meals were sending her blood. Sugar on a roller coaster, and her brain was trying to fix the crash. Rachel helped her understand. You don't crave sugar because you're weak. You crave it because your cells are screaming for fuel. By adding protein and healthy fats to each meal, those cravings faded. Her 3 p.m. cookie was replaced with apple slices and peanut butter or a homemade energy ball with oats. Flaxseed and dark chocolate, simple swaps. Big results. Day 7. The morning she woke up energized exactly 1 week after her food shift. Margaret texted her niece, "I woke up before my alarm. No grogginess. I feel light again, like I can breathe." It wasn't magic. It was nourishment. Her cells were finally getting what they needed. Her digestion improved. Her mind felt clearer. And for the first time in years, she looked forward to mornings. Margaret didn't need energy drinks, or pills, or guilt. She needed food that loved her back. The simple philosophy that changed her life. Rachel taught Margaret a phrase that she now repeats like a mantra. If you eat like you're 30, you'll feel 70. But if you eat like you're 60 with wisdom, you might just feel 40. It's true. Because when you support your aging body with the right balance of protein to rebuild and stabilize fats to fuel and protect fiber, to cleanse and nourish minerals and hydration to energize and regulate, you're not just eating food, you're eating energy. But there's one more secret. Even after all these changes, there was one more piece Margaret had to learn. It's not just what you eat, but when and how. In part 3, we'll explore why timing your meals matters more after 60, how late-night eating silently steals your energy, and the emotional connection between loneliness, food, and chronic fatigue. Because healing your energy isn't just about nutrition, it's also about rhythm, routine, and joy. Margaret's story isn't finished yet. And maybe neither is yours. Margaret had made real changes: food that nourished her, water that rehydrated her, and simple, healing meals that brought her energy back. But one morning she looked in the mirror and asked herself, if I'm doing everything right, do I still feel tired some days? That's when Rachel shared the final truth. Food heals the body, but rhythm heals the soul. And that began Margaret's next chapter, the emotional, hormonal, and daily rhythm changes we often ignore. After 60, the power of meal timing. After 60, Margaret learned that when she ate mattered just as much as what she ate. Why? Because after 60, our circadian rhythm, the body's natural clock, becomes more sensitive. Eating too late can confuse the body. Eating too irregularly can drain it. Rachel encouraged her to adopt a simple rhythm: breakfast by 8:30 a.m. To kickstart the body's energy cycle, lunch between 12 to 1 p.m., the biggest and most nourishing meal. Light dinner before 6:30 p.m. so her digestion could rest before sleep. First, Margaret resisted. She had always eaten dinner late, watching TV alone, slowly picking through her food. But once she shifted her meals earlier, she started waking up with more ease. She no longer felt heavy in the mornings. Her sleep became deeper, less interrupted. My body isn't fighting food overnight anymore, she whispered. How loneliness and food became entangled. Margaret also uncovered a deeper truth, a tender one that many don't speak about, in her quiet home. Food had become more than nourishment. It had become company. Late-night snacking wasn't just about cravings. It was about feeling less alone. Heavy meals weren't about hunger. They were about filling silence. Rachel never judged her. She simply held space for the grief of aging. You're not broken for feeling this way. You're just human. And healing starts with understanding yourself kindly. Margaret realized some of her fatigue wasn't physical. It was emotional weight, unspoken sadness, memories that surfaced in the quiet of the evening. That's when she added one more practice to her daily routine: eating lunch with a friend. Twice a week, calling Rachel while preparing dinner. Lighting a candle and playing soft music during breakfast food was no longer a lonely act. It became a ritual of Kara, time to reconnect with herself, the forgotten hormone that controls energy. Many people over 60 don't realize this. Cortisol, the stress hormone, can keep your body in a permanent state of fatigue. Margaret's old patterns of worry, late-night eating, and erratic meals had been keeping her cortisol elevated, which meant her energy was always being drained even when she was resting. But once she implemented consistent meal times, balanced blood sugar through real food, daily calming routines like walking, journaling, and stretching, her cortisol finally began to calm. Her body no longer felt like it was running from danger all the time. It began to trust her again. The new normal that didn't feel old at all. By the end of her second month, Margaret had rewritten her entire story about aging. She no longer said, "I'm tired because I'm old." She began saying, "I was tired because I was out of sync with what my body needed." Her days became softer, her mornings more energized, her nights peaceful. She still had challenges, of course. There were days her knees ached or her energy dipped, but now she had tools. She had rhythms. She had hope, and that changed everything. This is about more than just food. Margaret's journey isn't just a food story. It's a healing story. A story that reminds us, you are not lazy. You are not just getting old. Your body wants to thrive. It just needs to be fed like it's loved, whether you're 60 or 85. The truth is the same. You can still choose vibrant foods. You can still create healing routines. You can still listen to your body and hear what it's asking for. And when you do, fatigue fades, joy returns. And aging no longer feels like a slow decline. It becomes a beautiful, awakening process. A letter to everyone over 60. Calm music plays. Fading gently to everyone watching this, who's ever said, I'm just always tired now. This is just how life is after 60. I miss feeling light, joyful, awake. Please hear this. Your body is not giving up. It is asking for kindness. It is whispering, feed me gently, nourish me deeply, love me fully. You still have time. You still have energy waiting inside you. And it begins like Margaret's story, with one breakfast, one glass of water, one caring decision. Your second spring is waiting. Are you ready?